Right, firstly, welcome back to another episode. We have lots to update. I'm very sorry that I did miss last week's episode, but I've just been very busy trying to organize our new patrol build, as well as lots of other things that are going on with my life. But anyway, I do actually want to do work to our new build today, but I just want to give you guys a quick little update on what's been going on. So firstly, one of the biggest additions to my shed ever, I actually went out for my birthday and bought myself a TIG machine. Now moving forward with Roam Life and what I want to do, I want to get into like fabricating a lot more and doing intercooler piping, stainless steel air boxes, exhaust, all that sort of stuff. Now we have AC and DC, meaning we can do aluminium and steel and also stainless steel as well. This machine is definitely going to allow us to take the builds to the next level and start fabricating stuff that we have never been able to fabricate before. My uni MIG here has been probably one of the best tools I've ever bought. So I figured that if I couple it with a TIG and I have TIG and MIG sitting in my workshop, there's pretty much nothing that we cannot do. Basically, none of the builds so far would have been possible without a welder. So if there's one thing that I can suggest to you guys to learn and to go out and buy, it's definitely going to be a welder. Actually, should we fire the dog up now and I'll see if I can lay some bloody nice welds for you guys? All right, so let's see if I can lay a decent weld for you guys. Now, I'm just going to be fusion welding, which means I'm not actually adding any filler because the seam is very close together anyway. So we'll just have a quick little practice. See if I can get it. So as you guys can see, definitely not the best welder in the world yet, but we're going to dial that in sooner or later and we're going to be making some pretty sick parts. So that is a massive update. We have the TIG welder now. So very keen to learn more about this thing, and every chance that I get, I'm coming out to the shed and I'm just trying to practice a little bit so we can make some parts with that in the near future. So that's one big update. Now in the last episode, we did actually mount this shower awning up here from Kick-Ass. Now I did go ahead and just brace this a whole lot more. It just wasn't that strong. I was kind of rushing it that day. So I come back out through the week and I've just made this a heck of a lot stronger. And now when you actually wriggle this, it doesn't move. It actually moves the whole trailer. So we are dialed in for strength. All right, and now onto the Patrol and the Triton. Now I actually got a guy out yesterday to do some tinting on both these rigs, and it is looking bloody insane. Now, the Patrol actually had no tint on it, so this tint is looking freaking so good, and it's not so much of a fishbowl anymore. I did get 20% all round, and I also got the tint strip at the top of the main windscreen just to help with a little bit of glare. And that brings us over to the Triton. Now I did also get the Triton tinted at the same time, just while he was here, it was so much easier, but 20% all round. I did also get the tint strip up the top on these as well. So I'm very happy with the look of that tint. So that is basically the update on all our fleet of amazing stuff that we have here at Roam Life. So I do want to do some work on the Patrol today. I want to actually put in our new head unit from Polaris. So I apologize to Polaris because I've had this thing for friggin' ages, but I'm very excited to get this thing in the GU, and it's going to be quite a simple install. But we have a 10.1 inch adjustable screen. The thing slides up and down. It comes with a whole bunch of features you can see here. It does have HEMA maps. It also does have the capability of CarPlay and Android Auto. Basically, guys, we're going to be turning our old GU into a Tesla today. So I do also have a couple other things in mind for the GU today. So what I'm going to do is get the Army trailer out of here. We're going to bring the GU in, and we are going to start working on this thing today. This is marking episode 1 of our GU build, which is very exciting. I've also been talking to a lot of companies about getting some really cool products on this thing, and I can't wait to show you guys how this thing's going to turn out. So let's get this thing out, bring the GU in, and get this Tesla movement happening. Very excited about this. Geez, that was a tight fit. You don't actually realize how big these cars are until you pull it into a shed. The GQ used to fit in here very easily. This thing is massive, so wide. Now, what I'm gonna do, I can't really wind my windows down because I just had that tint fitted. You can see, diesel, you're not allowed in here. We already have a Pioneer head unit. Now this thing is actually really, really good head unit. So I'm gonna be able to sell this for a little bit of money, which is great. But the Polaris, it has the HEMA maps. It also has Apple CarPlay, which this thing does not have. It just has a whole bunch of features that is just gonna outdate this head unit by 10 years or so. So we'll get this out. I'll probably have to pull the fascia off. Obviously this head unit has been wired in previously into the old speakers and all that sort of stuff. So I'm gonna have to mess around with some wires here and there. So we'll get this off, see what we're dealing with, and have a look at the new Polaris head unit. All right, so I've got the head unit out. As you can see, absolute bird's nest behind it. This is pretty normal when you pull an aftermarket head unit out because you've got to tap into factory plugs. So what I like to do is just separate what you think is factory and what you think is not factory. And then you can basically start again with rewiring your new head unit. Don't get too worried about pulling these things out, guys. It does look really hectic, but when you sort of start working it out, they're not too bad to do. All right, so we've got the old head unit out here. Obviously, we've got our new head unit in here, so let's unbox this. Woo. Now, this is the screen. See, it's a much, much bigger screen. We've got the body, wiring harness. You can really see the difference. That's the old screen, and you can see we've got a massive new screen here. It's basically, this is like having an iPad in your body car, which is going to be awesome. Now, if you guys do want to check out Polaris, they are on Instagram. They also have a website. I'll link both of them below so you guys can check them out. Absolute unit. Heaps of people are running them at the moment. There's really, really good reports on them. They're quite budget for what they are. And if you're going to go out and spend $600 on a head unit that doesn't have Apple CarPlay, it doesn't have HEMA maps, I mean, what are you doing? Get the Polaris. So I'm going to try and figure out some of this wiring now. I'm just going to flick through the instructions, which I do recommend doing as well, because we do have a reverse camera and we do have lots of things that are going into this. So I'm just going to flick through it. I'm going to have a look at our wiring harness, and then I'll get back to you guys with how we're going to install it. All right, quick little update. We have the Polaris head unit all plugged in. Now, someone bought a conversion harness, so this made it really easy for me. Now, I'm not going to explain how to wire up a head unit because every car is different, but this one is pretty easy because I just basically plugged and played. Now, I've already got a reverse camera, so I have just wired that in now. This also has an input for a forward camera, so I will be wiring up a forward camera. Now, I also need to do the microphone because the jack is different, so I can't run the microphone that I already had. So I'm going to pull that back through, run my new microphone. I do really want to wire up these steering wheel controls. I just don't really know how to do it, so I might do that. I might not. It'd be pretty cool to have though. Now, if you see down here, I've got two USBs. How I've wired this up just now is the bottom USB is actually a charging one. The top one is my Apple CarPlay input. Now, because I'm in the car, this is kind of really hard to film, so I'm going to try my best to film as much as I can, but basically all I'm doing is running wire, so it's kind of boring anyway. So I'll see how I go, but I'm going to run some cables, and then I'm going to mount the head unit in, and then we should be all good to go. Righto guys, all done with the Polaris head unit here. You can see she's all mounted up and looking really good. Now, one thing I've done that's really cool, you can see I got the key. One super cool thing that I did is I hooked up the steering wheel control. So you can see volume up, volume down. This one is power off and also power back on. And I've done skip and back, and we've also got mode here, which changes the mode that you're in. So that's really cool. It is very, very responsive, so that is good. You can click into lots of different stuff. We've also got the Google Play Store right there, maps, you got bloody just about everything. You can see I've mounted my microphone bang center up the middle there, and we also have a little GPS speed thing mounted just on the dash there. Now that definitely did take a while, especially to do the steering wheel control here. Now that that is done, I am going to move on to our next mod. I'm going to finish setting this up later. Z-Link is actually wireless CarPlay as well, so it does have wireless CarPlay. I thought I would have to plug it in, but this thing definitely has wireless CarPlay. It was working really well just before. So I'll finish setting this up later, but we are going to move on to our next mod. Right, so now that that is done, we're moving on to a cage that I bought. Now this is a cargo barrier. It basically separates the very rear seats from the middle row seats. Now the reason I wanted this is so I can chuck Diesel in the back and not worry about him getting to my son in his car seat. But I picked this thing up secondhand for $200, so I think that was an absolute steal. It's in really, really good condition. Now this one actually came with a fire extinguisher. It has a glass breaker there in case you wanted to break some glass. It shouldn't be too hard to mount at all. I do need to take some trim pieces off and rip some carpet up, but that is honestly going to be perfect just to separate the dog and the baby. So let's get this installed. Alrighty guys, we have the new cage installed and I had to go and get an extension strap for Wolf's seat, and that is actually working really well. It just goes under the headrest there, but we are nice and tight. You see I had to take the handles off here because these bolts go up into the threads for the handles, and then I had to smash out 2 grommets and it left me with a thread on each corner just to mount it underneath there. So as much as I don't like the look of these things, this barrier is the only thing sort of protecting Wolf from anything like even an emergency braking situation. If you stepped on the brakes, you had the back of this loaded up, all that stuff is going into Wolf's area, as well as it could go into our area as well. So it's not really safe to not have one of these things and have a kid. Now the main reason that I got it is because actually I want to put the dog in here. I don't really want the dog getting with the kid. So that is a stout bloody unit, and I'm very glad to have got that for 200 bucks. So anyway, let's move on. What I want to do is de-grampify this car. Now what I mean by de-grampify is I want to take these weather shields off. I have actually ordered the thin black plastic tinted one of these, and they look a lot better, but it just hasn't come in yet for this video. I have also ordered the tinted bonnet protector here, but as you can see, grandpas run nudge bars, so we're going to take that nudge bar off. I have actually used this light bar quite a fair bit since I've had it, so we are losing out on the light bar, but I don't really like this nudge bar at all. So we're going to get rid of this little GME aerial that's going straight in the bin. And you can see my headlights are really cloudy. Now I do actually want to try a little myth with those to see if it's true or not, is to use toothpaste and just a rag and just wipe it over that. And the toothpaste is abrasive enough to sort of polish that headlight up and take that cloudiness out of it. So I do want to quickly try that. But firstly, I'm bloody sick of looking at this thing. So let's unbolt this nudge bar and get rid of that. And then we can look at doing the headlights and then taking off the little side things. I turn around and look who's jumped in to check out his new cage. How you going, buddy? Do you like the cage? You reckon it's good, bud? You gonna come on adventures with us? Yeah, good boy, hey? Right, so Diesel and I just got this nudge bar off, and that looks so much better already. Some people might like nudge bars, I friggin' hate them. Now honestly, when we get the wheels and lift sorted on this thing, I'm actually gonna keep this standard bar for a while just because I actually really like the look of Series 4 Patrols with this front end. I'm excited to keep that. I'm actually thinking about doing a cradle mounted winch inside the grille, so I think that would be really cool and really different. It's gonna stay looking this way for a while, but I don't think a lot of you guys will mind because I know that they are very popular with just running this bar. But damn, she's looking good. So the next job is, these headlights are super cloudy, as you can sort of tell. This one's actually a lot worse. You can just see the cloud way up here. They look a lot worse in real life. What I'm gonna do is get some of this Colgate here and I'm just gonna rub it on and just see if it polishes it up enough to actually rebuild these headlights, because I'm going a projector globe inside these. So if I can restore these, then I'll order the projector globe. If not, I'll have to order the whole light itself. So guys, let's see if this myth is gonna work. All right, I'm just gonna put a fair chunk on. Very minty. That is actually really impressive. Right, that's the second run. See how much better that is. That toothpaste is actually really, really good. You can see cloudy, clear. I don't know if you guys can tell how bloody cloudy that is, but look at that. That is super cloudy. Then you come over here. Super clear. To be honest with you, I did not think that that was gonna work, but Colgate cleans headlights amazingly. So I'm gonna do this one more time and then we'll crack on with the other one. All right, you can see the Colgate has worked its miracle wonders and cleaned up the old headlight here. Now look, it's probably about a 95% job. There's still 5% of cloudiness there. But all in all, for a couple of dollars, that is actually really, really good. So I do have enough time. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna back this out. I'm gonna lift the engine bay up. I'm gonna wash it. Around the rear barn door, there's heaps of red dust. This thing just has red dust everywhere, which is actually a lot better than like salt and, you know, water crossings and all that. And actually the tint guy said that when he was doing the tint, he pulled the door cards off and all the cork boarding or whatever you call it behind the door cards, it's all in perfect condition, which means that this thing has never gone through a water crossing past its doors. So the old girl is starting to look a little bit less grandpa. So I forgot about these things, but I'm gonna quickly try and pull them off. I hope it doesn't leave like a really big residue of glue behind, but I'd really like to get that off so the thing just looks super stock and super clean. Right, I absolutely destroyed them getting them off, and it has left quite a bit of that 3M tape. Now, I don't have a heat gun here, so I'm not even gonna try and get that off. I'll kind of see if the pressure cleaner does it, but we are running out of daylight, so I'm gonna get this thing out, give her a really quick wash, and then we are done for today's video. Just seeing this already has definitely made me excited to start this build properly, get the suspension, the tires, everything else that we're gonna do to the engine and all that, just get it pumping. I have absolutely fallen in love with the gold and the silver. I think it's gonna look freaking mint. All right, so we have achieved everything I wanted to get done in today's video. We de-grampa-fied it. Tint yesterday looks absolutely amazing. The headlights come up good. We've got the Polaris head unit in, and we also have the rear cargo barrier. She is definitely looking so much better already, and I honestly can't wait to see it with some big chrome wheels. It's gonna look insane. I really do want this build to be something special, and it's really nice to start from such a super clean body. And yeah, I have really high hopes for this thing, and I think it's gonna be awesome. And I hope you guys are excited. Now, if you're not subscribed, please do so, because you will then not miss out on any more of this patrol content. Definitely let me know down in the comments what you would be doing to this build. I'd be keen to hear everyone else's opinions on what sort of mods we should do. So guys, we'll catch you on the next episode. Diesel, come here. Yep. Loves to listen to me, doesn't he? Say goodbye. Say goodbye to everyone, buddy. Say goodbye. We'll catch you guys on the next episode. Goodbye.